The courtroom froze the instant Carter Holloway laughed. Not smiled. Laughed. A cold, arrogant laugh that echoed through the studio after the injured delivery driver quietly admitted he still couldn't sleep through the night without pain medication. "You're acting like you're some kind of victim," Carter sneered, adjusting the cuffs of his tailored navy suit, while the audience murmured in disbelief. "You crashed into me." At the plaintiff's table, Miguel Alvarez lowered his eyes. One arm still rested in a medical sling. A faint scar curved across his forehead, and behind him in the audience sat his 9-year-old nephew Lucas, clutching a hospital photograph of the uncle he almost lost forever. Judge Judy didn't react immediately, but the bailiff noticed something dangerous. She had stopped writing. That only happened when somebody in the courtroom had just made a catastrophic mistake, and Carter Holloway had absolutely no idea his entire life was about to collapse, because hidden inside a sealed evidence envelope beside Judge Judy's bench was unreleased body cam footage that would destroy a police chief's 31-year career, expose years of police corruption, trigger a federal investigation, reopen buried criminal cases, and send multiple officers into handcuffs before midnight. Within hours, news helicopters would circle Rivergate Police Headquarters. By morning, internal affairs agents would seize department computers, and before the week ended, Carter Holloway, the untouchable son of Police Chief Nathan Holloway, would become the face of one of the most explosive corruption scandals America had seen in years. But at that exact moment, he was still smiling, still arrogant, still convinced his father's badge made him untouchable. Judge Judy slowly lifted her eyes toward him, and the courtroom had no idea. She already knew he was lying. 3 months earlier, Miguel Alvarez had been halfway through a long delivery shift when the incident happened. At 42 years old, Miguel lived the kind of life millions of hardworking Americans quietly survive every day without anyone noticing. He worked 2 delivery jobs, fixed his own brakes because he couldn't afford expensive repairs, sent money every month to his sick mother in San Antonio, and after his younger sister Elena passed away 2 years earlier, Miguel became everything for her son Lucas: father, guardian, homework helper, birthday planner. The apartment they lived in was so small that Lucas slept in the living room behind a curtain Miguel installed himself. But every Friday night, Miguel still bought small dollar store cupcakes because Lucas called them celebration cakes. Miguel never complained, not once. Meanwhile, 26-year-old Carter Holloway lived in a completely different world. A luxury condo world, an expensive car world, a world where powerful last names changed everything. His father, Chief Nathan Holloway, controlled the Rivergate Police Department with enormous influence. Officers respected him, lawyers defended him, city officials stayed close to him, and Carter had spent most of his life relying on that influence. By 26, Carter already had several incidents quietly removed from public attention. But young men raised without accountability eventually begin believing nothing can touch them. And that belief changed many lives forever. The crash happened at 11:42 p.m. Rain hammered downtown Rivergate that night. Miguel had just picked up 2 pizza deliveries and was driving carefully through an intersection near Grant Avenue when headlights exploded toward him from the left side. Witnesses later described it like watching a missile. Carter's black Aston Martin entered the intersection at 92 miles per hour. The impact sounded like a bomb. Miguel's small delivery sedan spun twice before slamming sideways into a traffic pole hard enough to split metal. Glass rained across the street. Steam exploded from the hood. And inside the crushed driver's seat, Miguel couldn't feel his legs. People screamed. Someone dropped a shopping bag and ran toward the wreck. Then witnesses saw Carter Holloway step out of the Aston Martin laughing. One witness later testified, he looked annoyed about the car, not the man. Another remembered Carter saying, "My dad's gonna freak when he sees this." Not, "Call an ambulance." Not, "Is he alive?" Just the car. And then came the part that later horrified the entire country. 3 police cruisers arrived within 4 minutes. Not ambulances. Police, led personally by Chief Nathan Holloway himself. The response time made no sense. Until investigators later uncovered the truth, Chief Holloway had been secretly tracking his son's phone location because Carter had been drinking all night. He already knew something bad was coming, and he came to clean it up. Back inside Judge Judy's courtroom, Carter leaned casually against the podium while his expensive attorney, Gregory Vance, shuffled paperwork confidently. Chief Holloway sat in the front row in full dress uniform, arms crossed, expression calm, like a man completely certain the outcome had already been purchased. Miguel sat quietly beside a legal aid attorney barely old enough to rent a car. The imbalance in the room felt suffocating. Judge Judy finally spoke. "Mr. Holloway," she said calmly, "you claim Mr. Alvarez ran the red light?" "Yes." "You're certain?" "Positive." Miguel lowered his eyes. Judge Judy opened a thin folder. "Interesting," she said softly, "because city traffic records show your vehicle entered the intersection 4.7 seconds after the light turned red." The audience immediately murmured. Carter laughed dismissively. "Those cameras glitch all the time." Judge Judy wrote something on her yellow legal pad. The bailiff noticed again, another trap. Miguel's testimony changed the atmosphere completely. He described waking up in intensive care, unable to move his left leg. The surgeries, the nerve damage, the hospital debt, the nights Lucas cried because he thought his uncle was dying. At one point, Miguel paused, voice cracking softly. "I kept apologizing to the nurses," he whispered. "I thought maybe I deserved it somehow." The audience audibly reacted. A woman in the second row wiped tears from her face. Judge Judy turned toward Carter. The rich young man rolled his eyes. Actually rolled his eyes. "You done?" Carter muttered. The courtroom erupted into gasps. Miguel looked down silently, and that was the exact moment public sympathy shifted completely against Carter Holloway. But Judge Judy still hadn't revealed the real reason this case terrified Rivergate Police Department. Because sitting quietly beside her bench was a sealed manila envelope, and Chief Holloway couldn't stop staring at it. Judge Judy noticed. So did the audience. The silence became heavier. Then Judge Judy calmly asked, "Chief Holloway, do you know Officer Daniel Reeves?" For the first time all day, the chief's expression changed. Only slightly, but enough. Carter frowned. Then the courtroom doors opened. A young police officer entered carrying a flash drive. The audience exploded into whispers. Because Officer Daniel Reeves had disappeared from the department 2 months earlier after suddenly being placed on administrative leave. Rumors online claimed mental instability. The truth was much darker. Judge Judy inserted the flash drive into the courtroom monitor system, then slowly looked toward Carter. "You may want to stop smiling now." The footage began playing. Body cam video, time-stamped the night of the crash. Rain poured across the screen. Miguel's destroyed car smoked violently in the intersection, and standing near the Aston Martin was Carter Holloway, drunk, barely standing, holding an open whiskey bottle. The courtroom exploded with gasps. Then the footage became devastating. Chief Holloway appeared on camera, grabbing Officer Reeves by the shoulder. "What's the BAC reading?" the chief demanded. ".18, Reeves answered nervously. "More than double the legal limit." The audience went completely silent. Then the video captured the exact moment careers died. Chief Holloway looked directly at Officer Reeves and quietly said, "Turn the camera off." Officer Reeves hesitated. The chief stepped closer. "If you want a future in this department, turn it off." The courtroom erupted. One woman shouted, "Oh my God!" Judge Judy remained perfectly calm, but Carter's face lost color instantly. And the footage kept getting worse. The body cam captured officers removing whiskey bottles from Carter's car. It captured another officer altering skid mark measurements. Then came the final blow. Officer Reeves accidentally left the body cam recording after placing it face down inside a cruiser. The video went black, but the audio remained, and the courtroom heard Chief Holloway say the sentence that destroyed everything: "My son is not going to prison for this." Complete silence. Nobody moved, nobody breathed. Even Carter stopped blinking. Judge Judy slowly removed her glasses. "Chief Holloway," she asked softly, "would you like to explain felony evidence tampering caught on official police body cam footage?" The chief stood instantly. "This recording is unauthorized." "Sit down," Judge Judy snapped. For the first time all day, her voice cut like steel. The chief sat immediately. The audience watched decades of power begin collapsing in real time. But Judge Judy still wasn't finished, not even close, because hidden behind the accident was something far uglier. She lifted another file. "Mr. Holloway," she said quietly, "how many prior DUI investigations involving your son have disappeared under your department?" The courtroom froze. Carter looked toward his father in panic. Gregory Vance suddenly looked terrified. Judge Judy opened the file slowly. 2 years ago," she continued, "your son struck another vehicle outside a nightclub district." The audience leaned forward. The victim was hospitalized with spinal injuries. Miguel's attorney looked stunned. Judge Judy held up paperwork. The report vanished before prosecutors received it. The courtroom erupted. Chief Holloway looked pale now, and then Judge Judy delivered the line that shattered Carter completely. "We recovered the deleted case file yesterday." Carter stopped breathing. Then came the witness nobody expected. A paramedic named Elena Brooks entered trembling, because for 3 months, she had been threatened into silence. Her voice cracked as she described arriving at the crash scene. Miguel screaming in pain inside crushed metal, rain mixing with blood, and Carter laughing beside the wreck. Then Elena revealed something horrifying. Carter tried to leave. The audience exploded. "He what?" somebody shouted. Elena cried openly now. "He kept saying his father would fix it." Judge Judy looked toward Carter. The arrogant smile was completely gone now. Sweat formed across his forehead, but the final twist still hadn't arrived. Judge Judy opened the second envelope. Phone records, hundreds of them. Calls between Chief Holloway, prosecutors, internal affairs officers, and Carter himself, made immediately after the crash. Then Judge Judy revealed the final bombshell, a recovered voicemail. Carter's own voice filled the courtroom speakers. "Dad, please fix this before they test me. I can't go to jail again." Again. The word detonated inside the courtroom. Miguel's attorney stared in shock. The audience exploded into shouting. Judge Judy slowly turned toward Chief Holloway. "Again," she repeated quietly. The chief looked broken now, and Judge Judy calmly explained the truth. The prior DUI case involved a young teacher named Amanda Pierce. She still walked with a cane. The entire case had been buried by Rivergate Police Department. The audience erupted again. Reporters scrambled for phones. The bailiff yelled for order, and Carter finally cracked. "This isn't fair!" he screamed. Judge Judy stared coldly. "No, Mr. Holloway," she replied. "What wasn't fair was leaving innocent people broken while your father erased consequences." That was the moment Carter's arrogance finally died. He started panicking, breathing hard, looking desperately toward his father. But Chief Holloway couldn't save him anymore, because standing quietly near the courtroom entrance were 2 federal investigators, waiting. Judge Judy looked toward them calmly, then toward the bailiff. "Place Carter Holloway under arrest pending charges of perjury, obstruction, and reckless endangerment." The courtroom exploded. Carter stepped backward instantly. You can't arrest me!" The bailiff moved forward. Handcuffs appeared. Carter looked toward his father with pure terror. "Dad!" But Chief Holloway didn't move, couldn't move, because one federal investigator had just placed a hand on his shoulder. The audience gasped again. Judge Judy's voice cut through the chaos. "Nathan Holloway, you are hereby referred for federal investigation regarding obstruction of justice, witness intimidation, evidence tampering, and conspiracy." The chief closed his eyes. 31 years of power ended in one sentence. Miguel Alvarez sat silently while the powerful family collapsed around him. He didn't celebrate, didn't smile, didn't gloat. He just cried quietly, because for the first time since the crash, someone finally believed him. The audience slowly began clapping, then louder. Even the bailiff looked emotional. Judge Judy turned gently toward Miguel. "You spent months believing your life mattered less because powerful people told you it did," she said softly. She paused. They were wrong. Miguel covered his face and cried harder, and half the courtroom cried with him. The fallout devastated Rivergate. Within 48 hours, Chief Holloway resigned, 5 officers were suspended, prosecutors stepped down, and federal agents seized department records. The body cam footage went viral nationwide, over 70 million views in 1 week. News stations called it the Holloway cover-up. Former officers came forward publicly. Buried complaints resurfaced. Old investigations reopened. A retired detective revealed Chief Holloway had protected wealthy families for over a decade. America exploded with outrage. Meanwhile, a fundraiser for Miguel Alvarez raised $840,000. He paid off every hospital bill, bought a small home, started a legal aid foundation for injured delivery workers, and the photo that touched millions online was Lucas holding dollar store cupcakes in their new kitchen beside the uncle he almost lost forever. The caption read, "We finally feel safe." Carter Holloway eventually accepted a plea deal. 4 years in state prison. Chief Holloway received 7 years federally. Several officers lost pensions. Rivergate Police Department entered mandatory federal oversight. But the moment America remembered most wasn't the arrest, wasn't the screaming, wasn't even the body cam footage. It was the exact second Judge Judy looked directly at one of the most powerful police chiefs in the state and calmly proved that no badge, no money, and no last name can protect corruption forever, because in the end, the delivery driver everyone ignored became the reason an entire corrupt system finally collapsed.